And we say Sitaram to your listeners on Radio Jaagriti, 102.7 FM, our viewers on TV Jaagriti. Hey, those of you joining us home here in Trinidad and Tobago, regionally, internationally as well. Welcome to a special edition of Conversations right here on your number one radio and TV Jaagriti. Of course, at this time, you're accustomed to the program Straight Talk with our CEO, Mr. Lokesh Maharaj. But as we promised you last week, as we promised you on our Monday, when we had no program, we have a special guest with us in the studio, and we're having a special edition of the program, Straight Talk. Of course, we've got with us Professor Peter Baofu with us in studio. Sitaram, and welcome to Radio and TV Jaagriti.
Thank you.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about Peter Baofu.
Well, I am an American author and visionary. I have written more than 160 books in all fields of knowledge, in the social sciences, in the humanities, in the formal sciences, and in the humanities. And I try to propose more than 128 different new theories and visions about the human future in relation to the mind, nature, culture, and society. Ultimately, for some unified theories of everything, not just one, but several of them. And I have been in more than 100 different countries around the world. And I do that intentionally in order to understand humanity on the ground, not just by reading a documentary or watching a film and all that.
So we're privileged and happy that you're sharing some time with us. As if I may, Peter mentioned to me earlier on, we can talk about anything, right? 126 new theories. We've got a little bit about health.
Health.
Yeah. And there was this term here where you mentioned about post-human.
Yes.
Yeah? Are we becoming a less healthier people when you look at the past? And then now, as we go into the future. And then again, would it be, what is health in my perspective? Would it be like that?
Yes, that is true too, but health is also going through a lot of metamorphosis. Nowadays, here in Port of Spain, now that you see a lot of, what's that, KFCs? Yeah.
But actually, Trinidad has the most KFCs per capita in the world.
Yeah,
So.
this is one of the things that I noticed very quickly. You may ask yourself the question, is that healthy to eat all of those food? I'm not saying you should not eat them. I'm not saying that. You asked the question about health. I'm just asking you a question. So my point is that nowadays we have a lot of fast food. And fast food is not necessarily good for you. And traditional food in many ways is even better. But again, it's a value judgment. So what I'm trying to say is that there are a lot of things in contemporary life. They are very unhealthy. Look at all these people. I'm not going to mention names. I'm not going to mention the countries. They have big bellies. You see many of them everywhere. Okay. The more developed they are, the chance is they are very fat. Okay. Why do they go to the gym to have exercise? Why? Because they live such a lifestyle which is so indulgent. They make themselves so unhealthy that they have to go to the gym each week in order to fight against it. Think about it. If you really care about health, why do you spend all this time, money, energy, and all that, make yourself so fat? And then you have to spend time and spend money to pay for the gym, to pay a membership, to pay for the membership fee in order to get rid of that. Let me give you one example. When I was in the Philippines a few months ago, I passed by a gym. And then I saw some people, they have very big belly. And then they went to a gym, and that is a equipment. That is a bell. And then they tied them up. And then they push the button. And the bell thing, like this. Have you ever seen that before? Yeah. So, you see, but this guy was very fat, big belly. And then he had to spend money. So I walked in, I saw that, and so I just say, I asked for membership fee. I say, how much does it cost to be a member of this club? And then the guy says, give me some figure. But I know that fee was high for the local people. For the local population, that fee is high. And yet people spend all this money to talk about health, and then they spend extra money the something about smoking. People spend time, sometimes I know some people, they spend so much money each day or each week to spend on smoking. And then they get sick, and then they go to the hospital, and they have to pay for this and medication, subscription, and all that to fight against it. Well, what is the solution? Maybe you should not smoke at the beginning, maybe you should not eat all this kind of fast food. So you ask about health. In many ways, health nowadays, the more developed you are, the richer you are, the more unhealthy you are in a way.
You become.
But on the other hand, there are also many other things which are also healthier too. Like in developed countries, the air is a bit fresher than in some poor countries, for example, they can be very polluted. In some slums, for example, I visit more than 100 countries, and I have been in many areas where the smell is very bad, and the environment is just very, very toxic, and people live like that and drink very dirty water. In Haiti, for example, it could be shocking for you to go to the street, and sometimes people pick up some water from the pipe, from the tunnel, because there was no other water, and they only put some plastic thing to filter the water. I say, but that is not sufficient. It's still dirty, and they say, if we don't use this water, we will die.
That's the only source.
Yes.
So we're quickly out of time. It certainly was a pleasure having you here. And as you can tell, listeners and viewers, there's so much that we can talk about and certainly keep going on and on and on. I've got an extensive list here that I can just pull any topic from, and Professor would be able to elaborate on it. But once again, thank you very much for joining us and sharing this hour with us here on Radio and TV Jaagriti.
Okay, thank you very much for the invitation.
So here's where we wrap up this special edition of the program, Conversations, right here on your number one Radio and TV Jaagriti. News at 5 is up next.